Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Yes, the Celtic channel run by a YouTuber, not a journalist. Anyway, good morning and welcome back to the channel. It is Monday morning and you've got to think Fabio Silva must be waking up this morning and it's dark and Jota's shadow, isn't it? The Portuguese guy that came over from Benfica on loan to Celtic was a superstar, was an absolute superstar at Celtic, and he was sold for big money to then move on and live the dream and get paid an absolute fortune for it. And meanwhile, Fabio Silva, who was once sold for big money, has then ended up at Rangers, diving about like a gold medal winner off the diving boards at the Summer Olympics. It must be dark in Jota's shadow that you've got to return to antics like that. And even Kris Boyd yesterday had a bit of a dig at the player during the game, during the first half, at half time. And he said, and then at the end of the game, he changed his tune. He changed his tune and said it was all part of his game plan. Part of his game plan. If the referee had stood by his original decision and booked Silva for simulation, fucking cheating and diving, he did it the whole game. If he had booked him earlier, there is absolutely no way that he would have dived for the penalty. Not a chance would he have dived at that penalty, even though under the rules, yes, it was a penalty, but if the referee had been stronger in the game and nipped that in the bud earlier, Celtic would have won the game, if you ask me. But it's over and done with. It's a draw. And I had a quick look at the comments this morning, and yes, the monkeys were out. The monkeys were out, the zombies, and the illiterate, and none of them are done to like typos. Anyway. One player that has scored the goal yesterday for Celtic is the one and only Matt O'Reilly. Matt O'Reilly took to social media yesterday. He took to Instagram and he posted on Instagram that he loves these guys. Absolutely loves these guys. And quite right too. He loves the club and he loves the guys. We'll keep going until the end, says Matt O'Reilly. And it's had 19,300 likes at this point, and then even the big man, the one and only Joe Hart official, replied to him. Not a lot he replied, they just didn't even know what that is. It's little hands, I don't know. But Joe Hart replied to him. Anyway, Matt O'Reilly loving the club. Will he still be here in the summer? Captain Callum McGregor spoke after the game, and he spoke about the confrontation at full time. McGregor came on with a sub. Basically, McGregor just said, he said, look, I was dying to be there. I was dying to improve my fitness, trying to get as fit as possible to make sure that I could be there to help the lads. He says, well, things got a bit heated on the pitch. McGregor played down the incident at the end of it, and as you could see with the picture, McGregor's got a little bit of a cheeky grin on his face, a little bit of Scott Brownish in that situation at the end. You know, just get them wind up after the game. Get them wind up so that they know that they're in a title race. They were lucky to get a share of the points yesterday. Was it 2 points dropped by Celtic? Yes, it was 2 points dropped. To be in the front twice in the game and then to get hit with that late sucker punch, it's never over until it's over. Some idiot said yesterday, Rangers scored in the 93rd minute. Where did the 8 minutes of added time come from? That's one question that obviously needs to be answered, but it won't be because VAR in Scotland is an absolute... Anyway, when McGregor was asked about it yesterday, he had a little laugh after the game. He said, listen, there's two passionate teams that want to win. It's no drama at all. No drama at all. That's McGregor he's learned that from Scott Brown, and absolutely brilliant that our captain managed to get in Cantwell's head after the game. Celtic said obviously it was a tough game, and Callum McGregor said it was a tough game to come back into. He said a lot of time on the training pitch. He wanted to be with the lads and hopefully do his bit. He says, I asked him whether he expects the title race to go the distance. Of course it's going to go the distance. Every game is a cup final now. You need to win our remaining games. We win every remaining game. I didn't expect us to win yesterday. We were close to winning yesterday. I think the penalty decision that they got, when you look at it, it was a penalty. But if the referee had booked Silva earlier in the game for his antics, he would never have dived. He would never have went down so easy for that penalty. And let's face it, he was diving all over the box yesterday. Anyway, There was an interesting one coming out of the newspaper in Belfast, and the headline is: "This is a funny thing about Scotland." And when they talk, remember there was no fans, away fans there yesterday, but Old Firm fans warning they could fall foul of Scotland's new hate crime law following a 3-3 draw. Go tell me what part of, well, considering the Old Firm died back in 2012, and they went into liquidation. Yes, Rangers, we have to let them remember this. They went into liquidation and died. That's fact. It's all factual, historical evidence. They went into liquidation, they died, and they were put down to the bottom tier of Scottish football as a new club. Factual. Okay. But the Belfast paper, the Belfast Telegraph, has said the Police Scotland has confirmed that they've received complaints of related hate crime over the course of the match yesterday between Rangers and Celtic. Fans had been warned before the game that they could face hate crime complaints from members of the public if they heard offensive chants on TV at home. Which part of Old Firm that seems to say that there's both sets of fans there? They seem to be forgetting that one little thing, that there were no Celtic fans there yesterday. So they were showing themselves to be the type of fans that they are. Scottish Police Force already received 8,000 reports since the new legislation. Do you know what's the funniest thing about this, right? I mean, you're going to get both sets of fans, and I could say this from sitting outside the country, and it's kind of a bit of an embarrassment. You're going to get both sets of fans now sitting at home going, "You're fucking singing that song. You're fucking singing I'm born in the post," and you've got complete knobs that are going to phone the police at the slightest thing. And from both sides. But anyway, it is what it is. The game yesterday was a draw. It was 2 points lost as far as I am concerned. Now, before we finish the video, I'm all for people making money. And I'm all for people making money. I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I run several YouTube channels. And, YouTube is how I make quite a large chunk of my money. But this is only just one little small bit. This channel is just one small wheel in the cog of my income streams. There are other YouTubers out there, but they're not YouTubers, they're journos. They're journos. And everyone knows how I feel about journos. And I'm going to have a little say, lads, come on. I'm not having to dig at you directly, but when you're linking, I'm going to speak to the guys at the Celtic Way, but, great channel, 3 great guys on it, but when you're doing your website, and the website is the exact same as the Rangers Review website, yesterday you've got a video that came out at Ibrox, the press conference, which obviously came from one of your Rangers pals. And then when you link here, I'm going to just show it. Former midfielder took to social media this afternoon, branding the officiating of the game disgraceful. You click on the link, and it goes to the Rangers Review. Come on, lads, get a grip. We are not part of anything together. We're not part of anything together. Fuck off. Get that shit to fuck. And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans. As far as I'm concerned, you should never be a part of anything together with that manky mob.